Hey folks, how's it going? It's Jax here. We're quickly going to go over some Mythic Plus talent builds for 8.3. So if you are new to Ret or less experienced, we'll stop tier by tier and run through this really quick. Um, First tier or level 15, you want to go with Righteous Verdict. And that's really if you want to prioritize single target damage, especially on weeks like Tyrannical when the boss is all buffed up. Otherwise, you want to roll with Zeal, and that's a pretty effective passive for us as well to take advantage of. Um, Tier 2 or Tier 30, you want to actually go with Hammer of Wrath if you think you're going to need that slightly additional distance or a little bit additional holy power generation. Next tier, Fist of Justice is a pretty good default. It's the one I typically roll with. Repentance can be useful if you're trying to actually avoid some particular mobs, but really, it's only when you're getting into the upper end or higher end keys that becomes effective. Blinding Light is really niche. Really just comes down to if you need to go for kind of an AoE stun there, but it can only affect targets that are damaged by non-holy damage. So there's some complexities with that. Fist of Justice, way to go. Tier 60, Wake of Ashes is the default choice. Consecration actually seems pretty good, but it's not as effective in real life. Like you won't be actually standing in that little area as much as you think. Next up in the tier 75, Unbreakable Spirit is useful on higher keys where you really want access to defensive more often when you're trying to manage your own self survivability. Alternatively, Cavalier is really the default choice if you're looking to improve your mobility, which really is usually tied to survivability when it comes to bosses in dungeons. And finally, Eye for an Eye. It's beneficial in a few situations, but it's really niche when it comes down to Mythic Plus. Jump down to the tier 90, and Word of Glory is probably the best utility in Mythic Plus dungeons, or let's debate that down in the comments below. It can really be used to catch your healer up if the healer's struggling. Alternatively, Selfless Healer can be used, but it's definitely less useful than Word of Glory. Justicar's Vengeance is basically in most situations pretty ineffective, so wouldn't suggest even sniffing around that one. Finally, the last tier, tier 7 or level 100. Um, all of the options are actually pretty viable. Crusade's good when you need a lot of burst, heavy damage. Divine Purpose is okay. It really is just kind of tied to the RNG development. Um, had a lot of fun with it when it was tied to a Legendary and Legion. It's just kind of okay now. Inquisition is actually pretty viable if you're looking for a smoother damage output, but it is one more buff that you need to manage. So if you've got some weak auras set up, Inquisition complements really well. Otherwise, it might not be your true calling. If you're less familiar, Ret provides a ton of burst damage, both for single target and area of effect. Really pairing Wake of Ashes with Avenging Wrath provides a huge burst window here. I I play a lot of Warrior, and I miss my high level Ret Paladin for its burst ability that it can definitely provide and knock down a large number of mob or trash packs really quick. Word of Glory also has a ton of utility. I like it. I like it in dungeons quite a bit, especially when you look back at logs and you see, oh, we were really close to a wipe there and was able to help, do the paladin thing, help bring up a couple team members and save us from the brink of death. A little bit of fun there. Real major suggestions are areas to avoid. Take advantage of Avenging Wrath. Load that up as soon as possible. Don't underestimate the amount of times that you can pull off or fire this cooldown across a dungeon. Anytime you run into a different difficult pack or any kind of mob that's going to slow down your group, take full advantage. burst up and get that mob cleared as quick as you can. Ultimately, it'll really allow you to complete your dungeons faster and faster as you get comfortable with it. Quickly, just a couple dungeon specific tips. If you're in Freehold, you will see with that Ring of Booty that you can take advantage of your BOP, your Blessing of Protection, or Divine Shield to prevent some damage when that Shark Tornado ability comes at you. For Temple of Sethralis, you can remove the Knot of Snakes again with either a BOP, your Bubble, or even the Hammer of Justice. And with the Avatar of Sethralis, Word of Glory and Lay on Hands really can help you get through the healing phase, so take advantage of them. The Mother Lode, Shield of Vengeance can easily absorb pools left on the ground by the Azurite Catalyst, so take advantage of that. Under Rot, there's a couple awesome little utilities there. Jump on the Divine Steed, that basically lets you quickly stomp through the blood tick larva that exists when we run into Cragmaw. Spore Collar, really cleanse toxins, which is just a base ability for all paladins. Really helps knock off the stacks of decaying spores, and Divine Shield or Divine Steed really both help stomp out Boundless Rot without taking any kind of damage or picking up stacks. So that's a great ability against the Spore Collar. And over in Waycrest Manor, again, BOP or Shield can be used to remove Soul Thorns on the Soulbound Goliath, and Shield of Vengeance can be used to absorb basically the fire damage. Really easy to take advantage of. Finally, Altrazar, there's a bunch of locations. When you're battling Rezen right off the bat, you can BOP or do your Bubble, and that really just removes any damage from the Devour ability from Rezen. The Priestess of Alunza, save Divine Steed really for any kind of transfusion run. Basically, get to your tainted blood pools quicker. Alternatively, Volcal. Usually with Avenging Wrath, you get a reanimation totem. Basically use it to die way quicker than usual. So burst those totems down as you get up into the higher keys. Basically the totems will heal them back up to full strength really quickly. So take advantage to knock them out. And finally, Yasma. Keep Wake of Ashes up in around that window. Save it up for Soul Spawn. It really allows us to take advantage of the AoE effect. And keep an eye on Yasma's energy. When it hits 100 that'll be your cue to have Wake of Ashes ready to go. That's my tips for Mythic Plus. Let me know what you think of this build tied here. Again, it's pretty interchangeable if you want to go with Righteousness or Zeal, alternatively, or any of the utilities. But this is my build. Let me know what you roll with, and let me know what keys you're getting to this year. Thanks for watching. See ya.